Hi friends, welcome back to My Life as a Hawkeye. My name is Katie Kazitsky, and today we're going to be talking about job and career fairs. I want to show you first what I've been doing to prepare for the job fairs. Secondly, give you some tips and tricks learned from professors, Pomerantz Center, and just some people in my life. And finally, I want to show you guys a student experience at the job fair while I'm still attending classes. That's a lot, so let's get started. Step 1. Preparation. Preparing for a career fair can seem overwhelming at first, which is why I want to give you guys a list of the things that I did and kind of simplify it. I like to break things into segments to make them easier. For me, with schoolwork and clubs and everything else going on at the university, it's definitely hard to give time to setting up for a job fair. But as a senior, even as a junior, this is very important to be able to gain internships or experience and gain a job post-college. This is something you do want to make time for. That being said, I like to break things into tasks to make them more manageable. So the first task that I created for myself was to fix up or buff up my LinkedIn profile and my Handshake profile. Now, your LinkedIn and Handshake profiles are both public profiles that these employers can look at, and it's their first glimpse at you. Most up-to-date information is going to be the most beneficial to me. Secondly, I went on to Handshake and I registered for the career fair. Now, the career fairs at Iowa are walk-ins. You don't have to register ahead of time, but if you do, you're able to get a name tag, and the employers are able to look at your profiles a little bit earlier, knowing that you will be attending the fair. This being said, you can look at the map of the career fair, as I'm going to show you on Handshake, and then research some of the employers. So Handshake is truly your best friend. You can look at any of the different career fairs that are going to be offered to you. The one tomorrow is an in-person business communications and technology fair. All of the information, whether it's the map of the area in the IMU and where the different employers are going to be, or even just employer information of what they stand for, what area they are in, what they're looking for positions, and what location they're in. There's so much information on Handshake, and you have full information going into the job fair so you can prepare to ask questions for the employers. On the left, you can also search jobs and internships or experiential learning so you can better understand what these different areas might hire for. Third thing I did was work on my resume. Now, your resume can be updated and changed according to who you want to talk to, but a general, strong resume is super important. This is really great to go to the Pomerantz Center, to go to a professor that you trust, or to go to a family member or a mentor of yours that you trust. Updating your resume and making sure it's the strongest it can be is vitally important to a job fair, as this might be the first impression that you're giving somebody if you don't have enough time to talk to them. Finally, I get prepared for the job fair. Now, this looks like looking at the map of where these employers are going to be, creating a list of who I want to talk to. As a student, there are still classes going on during the job fair. The job fair tomorrow is from 12 to 4, and I have a class right in the middle of it that is preparing for an exam. Some classes will cancel, but oftentimes you're going to have a class or some prior commitment that's going to run into the job fair. If this happens, don't panic. You just have to prioritize your time at the job fair a little bit better. I've picked out 23 of the about 100 people at the job fair tomorrow that I personally would like to talk to. Of these 23 employers, I've sorted them into high, medium, and low importance of who I'd like to talk to the most. The high importance people I'll spend the most time at, talking to them longer, asking them more questions, giving them my resume, and giving a proper introduction. The lower importance are not necessarily low importance of employers, but just people that I'm willing to take a business card from, people I'm interested in, but I don't know more about them and I won't have time to learn about them that day. I'm very interested in a lot of the employers coming, but you can't spend time at all 100 people visiting. This is something very strategic about time management within the job fair and showing them that you have time management in general. There's a lot of different things that go into preparing for a job fair, the outfit to wear, and all of the above that I'll get into in a little bit. But these are the primary steps that help me prepare ahead of time. Next up is tips and tricks that I've learned from my professors, the Pomerantz Center, and my mentors and family members this week. So first off is don't be afraid to introduce yourself. The job fairs are looking for your talents. They're looking for people like you. The University of Iowa offers all of these different opportunities so you can better prepare yourself. Be ready to talk about your classes. Be ready to talk about your experiences. Talk about something you're passionate about. Whatever makes you feel most comfortable and displays your skill sets, talk about it. They're wanting to know more about you and how you will fit into their company. By researching ahead of time, you're able to better understand what a company is looking for, and you can tailor your stories and your resume to them. Another piece of advice I received was to update your resume per person. If you know that there's 5 employers that you really want to talk to and impress, update your resume to fit those 5 employers. There's so many different skill sets that you might have, but focusing in on those core things that are going to set you apart, that job is looking for, an updated resume might be your best bet. Another thing that I think is super important is dressing the part. Now, it's business casual tomorrow, so that means that you don't have to come super dressy. I personally like to overdress, so tomorrow I'll be wearing a skirt and a suit coat, so I'm looking nice and professional and fresh. Another piece of advice I learned this week is practice. Practice to your roommates, practice to your family, practice to your significant other. Talk to somebody and give them an elevator pitch. A 30-second spiel about what makes you and why they should hire you. The goal of these job fairs is to get you an interview, to get a foot in the door, to leave an impression on your future employers. So don't stress too much and just be yourself. The whole thing is that you want to find somewhere that is the right fit for you. Hi there, happy job fair day. It is officially the day of, we're about an hour out. I had classes this morning, so I just got back from those and I just am finishing getting ready, just did my hair a little bit. This is what I'm wearing. It's very simple. It's just a white professional top and black skirt with some black heels. It's business casual, so I don't feel the need to wear a blazer with this, but I definitely could. So I have my Padfolio and some notes on the inside with a notepad, legal pad, and my resumes are all printed out, ready to go, so it's exciting stuff. Let's go! Hi, I'm back from the career fair. I'm sitting in my car getting ready to go home, but I just wanted to give you a quick update. It was super helpful to learn about these industries beforehand, and having that knowledge really was impressive to them. I've gained a couple of interviews, so I have an interview tomorrow and I have about 3 interviews next week and then future ones that are getting scheduled, which is really cool and I'm very excited. That was overall a very successful thing. I did go with the blazer. It was a little warm, but I think it was the better choice. A lot of people do dress up for these things, so even if it's business casual, it was a little bit more dressy, so I'm glad I went with the blazer. They gave us these name tags in which we have our graduation date and then obviously our name, so that employers were easier to identify who's looking for a full-time position or an internship position. All of the employers were phenomenal to talk to, and it was really nice to have physical resumes given back and forth and genuine conversations being held. I'm really excited about this experience, and overall I think it's a great thing that you should attend at the University of Iowa, whether employer or just a student as well. There's a lot of alum, which is really cool to see. I took my class in the middle, it wasn't a problem, and I was able to accomplish what I wanted to today. So as always, if you have any questions, please let myself or our team know. My Life as a Hawkeye's goal is to give you guys an honest student experience, and I hope today I was able to do that as I took you along through the job fair. And as always, go Hawks. I'll see you next time.